is at 3 in the morning.
Y'all lock the people in the bars? I like it. I like it.
How long? How long I gotta sit in there for?
How long though?
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction.
Let's go.
Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because we're on the road to 100K. And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Australia is many things. It's a continent that makes up the 6th largest country in the world and is home to some of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. And no, I'm not just talking about Australians. With a little over 8.5 million people visiting each year, tourism is a huge part of Australia's economy.
Yeah. I'm sorry though. Every time I see a kangaroo and after vibing with our Aussie fans and families, like, I get a little nervous.
Yeah, the Aussies be.
After how they explain what kangaroos can do. Yeah,
fighting with the kangaroos. What?
Bruh.
That being said, there are a number of things to look out for when you're there. So let's get right into it. Number 1. Don't stray from the path. With over 66 different venomous species, which is the 3rd largest concentration in the world, by the way, it's important to know where you are at all times. Now, this is especially true if you plan on trekking or camping in the outback. With things like the common brown snake, box jellyfish, and crocodiles, there's no shortage of dangerous animals here. So it's important that you stay on the path when you're exploring. And that goes for warning signs as well, because while it may seem funny to some people from different countries, here they're very real and should be taken seriously.
Yeah, very serious. No joke.
You ain't gotta tell us twice.
Not even once.
You ain't gotta tell us
We
twice.
actually thought it before you said it.
Exactly. We ain't got time for the kangaroo fighting and the random crocodiles.
None of that.
We staying where y'all tell us to stay.
Shout out to all the offsprings.
Number 2.
I don't think that was a kangaroo.
What was it?
I don't know.
It looked like it wanted to fight.
I gotta go back now. Hold on.
That's a kangaroo.
Yeah, help my wife out, y'all, and myself. Let us know what that is.
It looked like a kangaroo. I think. It looked like it. Look at his little arm.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Where's his tail at?
Behind him.
Y'all drop it in the comment section. Nah, we're gonna stick with kangaroo.
Look at his ears.
We're gonna stick with kangaroo until we get a confirmation on this. Okay. Might be.
Number 2. Don't underestimate the cost. Australia is known for having one of the highest living costs in the world, and traveling there is no different. Now, of course, this is all subjective depending on where you go and where you're from, but it still might surprise you to hear that a beer costs around $9 Australian dollars. And a meal at a mid-range restaurant costs around 40. Now, all in all, if you're really trying to save money, you can get it down to around 100 Australian dollars per day. And I'll just throw that number out there as an average. But between transportation, food, and lodging, the prices can get a bit expensive. So it's important that you price out your trip accordingly. Number 3, and this is a short one. Don't say shrimp on the barbie. Now, this phrase was popularized by a 1980s ad with Paul Hogan, who was later in Crocodile Dundee. And it was sponsored by the Australian Tourism Commission to try to bring in international travelers. But this is absolutely not what an Australian would say. If they would even use that phrase at all, they would say prawn, not shrimp. So don't make it more annoying than it already is.
Yeah, okay. Noted.
That's beautiful.
Good as not black.
Number 4, drinking in Australia. Now for this one, I'm mainly talking about major cities, specifically Sydney, so don't quote me on the rest of the country. But in Sydney, you can't get a beer after 1:30 in the morning. because they have something called a lockout law, which means no one is allowed in or out of bars past that point in time. And their last call is at 3 in the morning.
Y'all lock the people in the bars? I like it. I like it.
How long? How long I gotta sit in there for?
How long though?
Because what if I was just joining a friend and they drunk and I gotta wait for the doors to open again? I'm not understanding.
They sleeping over.
What they call it? Lockout? Lockdown?
I don't know what they
said.
And of course, don't drink and try and drive because they have one of the lowest blood alcohol content levels, 0.05, before you can be arrested. Last but not least, don't order Foster's beer. That's not an Australian thing, that's an American thing. Instead, try and order a bottle of Bundaberg. My Aussie friends will know why I'm laughing.
Gotta keep it cold.
Number 5, don't underestimate its size. Australia is a country with about 25 million people, and because it's a continent, it's made up of almost 7.6 million square kilometers. And despite the fact that the majority of its population is clustered around the coasts, in urban areas, it still means that as a tourist, it's going to take a long time to get from place to place. So it's important to take a look at exactly how long it's going to take you to complete your itinerary.
Supersize me, Cap.
Number
Got a lot to
6,
see.
don't always tip. Now, unlike some countries, tipping isn't required in Australia. And that's mainly because their minimum wage is the highest in the world, at around $18.93 an hour. Now, in places like the US, waitstaff require tips to earn a living wage, because the national minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Now, if you have great service, for sure you should tip the person. All I'm saying is you won't be scorned like in the US if you don't.
This is
Number 7, don't rely on public transport. Now, because Australia is so big and so spread out, public transport is difficult to find outside major cities. You know, it's not like Europe where you can take a train to a small town, hop off, and then hop onto another train to another small town. Australia is just too big for that to be feasible. So you're better off finding other ways to get around. Number 8. Don't talk about immigration. Now, forgive me if I have to generalize a bit in order to get the point across. But for the most part, many Australians dislike the way that the government handles immigration, whether they're anti-immigration or whether they're disgusted by the way the government handles refugees. Of course, there's all the people in between. But the bottom line is that immigration is a big deal in Australia, and it's easier to avoid the topic.
That's similar to politics here. Avoid it at all costs.
Yeah, you're going to fall into a loophole and something you're going to...
Somebody may end up in jail.
Yeah.
Avoid it.
Number 9, don't take anything personally. Now, Australians always seem to be joking around, and insults are one of the ways that they do that. But don't make the mistake of thinking they mean anything by it. There's a funny saying where you know that an Australian doesn't like you if they don't insult you, because it means that they actually think there's something wrong with you and that it'll offend you. Go figure. So take everything with a grain of salt.
And then at the same time, it's like that here as well. Personally, like with your friends, if they can clown with you, joke with you, talk about you, then that means they have a respect for you. But if they can't do any of those things with you, to an extent, degree, right? But if they can't do that with you, then it's more so like closed. It's like a closed conversation. They can't really not much involvement going on.
Number 10. Don't be afraid to say hello. Australians have a pretty well-deserved reputation for being laid back. And like I was talking about before with the kidding around, they're good at taking things in stride, which makes it easy as a tourist to make friends. And talking to people is a must.
I like that.
Last but not least, number 11. Make sure you enjoy Australia.
Big fact.
Australia is such a cool place with so many fun and interesting people. And there's so much to do there. It's important to keep in mind that these are all general guidelines and tips that I find out while I was there. And I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time while you're there.
Awesome.
Hey, just a word in advance. Shout out to all our Australia people that's going to come through in the comment section. Shout out to y'all. Great video. The only thing that was different was they don't talk about immigration. They don't like to talk about it. And like you were saying, we have a total understanding about that because it's like that with politics.
Yeah, they seem to be some of the most laid back people. Always cracking jokes in the comment section. Always. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our join feature to become a VIP member of the channel. We need more Australian videos, so send some more videos through our comment section description box below. It's our request form. We'll see you soon. Peace.